Yo, welcome back to Ninjago Tournament Elements. If you didn't watch the last video, I recommend pausing this and watching that because it was a banger. Anyways, let's begin. The episode begins of Zane having a dream. Honestly, the fact he's able to dream as a ninjoid is pretty tough. Pixel says the same thing and also tells Zane to get back his memories, reminding him that he saved his friends, aka the ninja, and the ninja are not here to save him. We then cut over to Nia and Sensei Wu, and Nia is yapping crazy right now. She's talking about, oh, Jay is this and this, and Cole's and this, and Sensei Wu is falling asleep listening to this conversation. I don't even blame bro for real, because this guy has dealt with so much things in his life, he could care less. That's when Misako pulls up and she's like, yeah, I don't know where the ninja or Garmadon went. And Sensei Wu was like, oh, guess we're going to broaden our search. Conveniently, Nia made this and its name is the DB Express. I'm not gonna lie, you could have went to ChatGPT and had it make a better name than whatever bullshit you made. Nia realizes that the name is completely ass, and then she goes to dip. That's when Sensei Wu says that he's happy that Garmadon is there to guide him. This is when Misako starts talking about this is my husband we're talking about, and that's why I'm so worried, whatever that means. We then go back over to the ninja, and right now they're getting eats. Right now, all the ninja are tripping out because they don't know what Chen's true intentions are. While Jay and Cole are walking back with their food, they start rage beating each other crazy. Cole's talking about I didn't know ninja take breaks, and then Jay is talking about I didn't know ninja take your girl. And I'm not gonna lie, this scene had me crying because getting your girl snatched by Cole but dead had me sick to my stomach. Garmadon and Lloyd tell him to lock back in, and then they start hitting each other's food tray, and now they got food all over the ground. It is genuinely impressive to not be the corny one when Kai is in the room. I don't know how Jay and Cole have done this, but honestly, they disappointed me. Garmadon tells Lloyd to find a way for them to fuck with each other again, and I'm not gonna lie, why is he putting this on Lloyd? Because isn't that your job as a sensei? This is so crazy. I didn't even peep. Sensei Garmadon only talked to Lloyd and did not look in Kai's direction. And people say that he is the leader of the group. That nigga is not the group leader. Sensei Garmadon did not say a word to that nigga. That's when Master Chen goes on an intercom and says the people who are fighting next. He says speed, gravity, smoke, nature, mind, and of course, that nigga Kai. Before we even get to the fights, Kai, I have some big expectations for you. Because everything I've watched so far by you, you have been straight ass. I don't think you want to fight so far. So I'm expecting you to at least get a W here. The matchups are gravity versus speed, mind versus nature, and Kai versus smoke. The first fight we get is speed versus gravity. We see the speed guy and gravity guy doing whatever this is, and then it cuts over to the mind and nature. The mind nigga is able to see the future, and I'm not gonna lie, he might just be Yuha. The mind nigga dodges the attack due to the fact he can already see what's about to happen. The mind guy looks like he's about to get the blade, but then the nature guy was not about to let that happen, and then uses the vines to climb up towards the blade. We then go to what we have all been waiting for, this Kai fight. Kai, if you lose this fight, I don't have any more words for you. That's when not even 5 seconds into the fight, Kai is already about to fall into the lava. Only Kai is capable of doing this. Ash starts running at Kai, and then Kai decides to use the bridge like the monkey bars at recess. This is when Kai does maybe the best thing he's done so far in the last 3 seasons. He kicks through the bridge and looks like he's about to combo it into another kick, but of course Ash finishes. That's when Ash appears in front of Kai. Kai runs at him again and then hits his head on the bridge. And then this is when Ash starts going crazy. He TP punches, TP punches. This is y'all's GOAT. This is when Kai is barely holding on and he gets scared looking at the lava at the ground. Keep in mind, he is the master of fire. Bro, honestly, I don't have any more words to talk about Kai because online, people describe this guy like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I have not seen him do anything of note in the last 4 seasons that I rewatched except for maybe season 1. I can't even compare him to Megami because at least Megami had that fake domain. But Kai, what has he done? The only feat I can think of in the top of my head is in season 1 when he's fighting Lord Gamadon when Lord Gamadon was not trying at all. And if I see someone in the comments type Riz as a feat, you might just have to get banned from the channel. Cause let me play this clip.
You could spend some quality time.
Please, friend. I just need a hand. Dad? I wish you to take me back. Back to when things were good. Back to before all this mess, when people liked us. And bad guys like you were never a problem. Back to the days when girls were crazy for me.
Anyways, before we go to the other fight, we see Skylar being surprised of Kai losing. And I'm not gonna lie, this nigga is not Jordan Poole. If he somehow decides to remember that he was trained by Sensei Wu, I'm just gonna have to give it to him. Anyways, we go back to the nature guy and the mind guy fighting, and these guys are putting a way better fight than whatever I was watching before. Keep in mind, these guys, I don't know who their like senseis were, but they are moving like this while I had to watch Kai getting rolled when he was trained by the son of the first Ninjutsu master. How is that even possible? This is when Lloyd says some corny ass line saying, "A man versus nature, nature always wins." Like, bro, lock in. We then go back over to the speed and gravity guy, and right now the speed guy's like trolling. But bro, if you gave me speed, this fight would have been wrapped up like 20 minutes ago. You're lucky I ain't in that verse. We then go back over to Kai, and I don't know why Skylar is covering her face. She does not care about this nigga. We then finally see Kai do something of use. Somehow, he's able to use his full upper body strength to jump off the plank into the air in the mid-air do spinjitzu. Seeing Kai finally do something in a fight honestly brought a tear to my eye, because this guy, after Lloyd snatched his green ninja chain, has been so sorry and quite underwhelming. So now that he's finally back to his true self like season 1, I'm honestly proud of him. Anyways, Ash weaves all of it, and then when Kai goes to another punch, he gets weaved again. This nigga is getting fried. We then see Kai finally use his elemental powers, and this guy throws 3 fireballs, and he misses every single one, and now the bridge is burning. The fact that you're able to be this terrible and not be doing it on purpose is honestly impressive to me. We then go back over to the mind and nature guy, and right now it looks like the nature guy is about to win. But right before he's about to go up and get the blade, the mind guy like disrupts his mind or whatever, and then uses his own vines to go get the blade. That giving us our first winner. We then go back over to the gravity guy, and this nigga is honestly so stupid. He brought the blade down so slowly, and then the speed guy went to go grab it. I don't know what he was expecting to happen, but he cannot be this dumb. Leaving only Kai left, per usual. Then see that Kai is still not hitting any fireballs, and then for some reason Chen wants to interfere with dark magic. What is the point of that? Kai literally looks like he's about to lose. What does he see that I don't that makes him think that Kai is about to win? So far in this fight, we have seen Kai hit 0 fireballs, then like 1 good move, and getting pieced up. So I don't know what Klaus sees to interfere. We then see Kai finally like break off the bridge or whatever, and then for some reason he decides to do that full backflip just to not even land at the sword that's right in front of him. I have no other words for this guy. They then start punching each other in the air, and it's looking like a pretty even matchup. That's when they start wrestling, and then they both jump for like the sword, but then for some reason Ash decided to vanish not towards the blade but behind Kai, giving Kai a free victory. I don't know how Kai is fighting someone that has more brain damage than him. That is honestly impressive. After like the fights are over, we then go over to Chen and Klaus. And Klaus right now is telling Chen that the ninja are the one that intruded. He wants Chen to allow him to use his dark magic to get him out the tournament. But Chen was not hearing it. He wants to use other ways to dwindle down the ninja. This is when we find out that Chen changed the brackets, so now Jay and Cole will be fighting each other. While they're trying to figure out a solution, Jay starts tripping out and says, "I'm gonna lose, he has super strength." You know how crazy that is as another man to be saying that to the next man? Me personally, I am gonna put some elite hands and show Kai how a real ninja fights. Actually, forget about Kai. This is a nigga that you said took your girl. You should be salivating at the opportunity to show who the true top 1 ninja really is. Anyways, they decide that they just have to find Zane before they have to fight each other. This is when Kai does another good thing in the episode, and they decide to go ask the mind guy what Chen's up to. While he's like reading their mind about needing to find Zane and finding what Chen's hiding, he says some crazy comment that was so unnecessary. He says that Cole thinks Jay wouldn't last in a fight. And we also find out that Jay says that Cole is the least valuable ninja. And that is completely false because Kai is right next to you. This is when Cole and Jay start play fighting, and Lloyd's like, bro, we wanted you to help, not cause more trouble. The Mind Guy says he did it because they're competition. This is when Lloyd tells him to look into his head to see what this tournament is really about. We then go back over to my goat Zane, and right now he's cutting himself out the chains. He hears two guards pulling up and then has to stop. This is when Pixel tells him to wait until everyone is at the big fight. We then see the Mind Guy is trying to get up to Chen to read his mind, but he is caught by Klaus. Klaus tells him that the floor is restricted and that he saw him talking to a ninja. Neuron, aka the Mind Guy, says that he's smarter than that. But while he says that, he's able to use his ability on Klaus's mind. We then see that the Cole versus Jay fight is about to begin, and Jay has Kai in his corner. Jay, for some reason, is like actually mad right now, and he's putting work right now in that sandbag. But when he breaks that sandbag, he gets sad. And we see that the same thing is happening to Cole, but Cole has Lloyd on his side. That's when the Mind Guy pulls up, and he tells Kai that he wasn't able to get the Chen, but he was able to get the Klaus. Apparently, the powers that he's collecting is for a spell, and apparently it's in the spell book at page 149. I'm really interested in how this guy's power works. Like, is he able to only read the mind of the thing that like the person was just recently thinking of? I think it's pretty interesting. Anyways, Neuron apologizes for not being able to do more and stop the fight, but Kai says it's cool. He then gives a nod to Lloyd that unfortunately their efforts didn't work out. This one Cole says that, well, this fight's been a long time coming, but Lloyd says we should not be doing that because our real enemy is Chen. This is when the ninja have to go back because the fight is about to begin, and these guys wasted no time to start running their fade. They are both just rage baiting each other and using their powers against each other. I'm also wondering why their elemental powers are so much stronger than Kai. Is it just because like Kai hasn't mastered his fire or something? But didn't they all reach their true potential? So why is Kai still a plumber? He keeps on throwing them sorry ass fireballs. We then see what Zane was up to, and right now he's cutting through. And then he finds that Pixel was scrapped. Pixel tells him that he has to keep on going and that she will always be a part of him. This gives Zane an idea to take Pixel's neuron drive or whatever and install it into him. While Zane is yapping, Pixel tells him behind him, and then he gets fried by Klaus. We then go back over to Jay and Cole, and right now they're still just like yapping to each other and doing like zero damage. But then Cole's like, you're not my enemy, Chen is. But then Jay, for some reason, takes it as him trying to act as a fake friend when they've known each other for how many seasons now. And then he starts to walk down Cole. Then start to talk to each other, and then they're like, well, we should just be more open about our feelings and yada yada yada, like Disney Channel conclusion. But then they have to decide how they're gonna stop this fight. Cole decides to do some like fake fighting. They start doing some crazy porn slash 2B acting, and I'm not gonna lie, it was miserable. Chen realizes that they're just not fighting anymore, so he says to release the Condrag Crushers, or whatever that corny name was, and then Jay and Cole realize they gotta lock in. They then hit a double spin jitsu, and then they handle their respective, like, whatever these things are called, with these. I know this is like slightly off topic, and it seems like I'm really hating on Kai, but Kai really has the worst elemental power out of any of them there. Like, I can't decide if Kai is just a really bad user of it. I mean, he definitely is a bad user, because the only thing I've seen him do so far is fireballs, while I can see Cole and Jay have like a full like 30 meter radius of their elemental powers. So I don't know where it went wrong for Kai. Even Nia, who picks up water later on, she's able to have way better water mastery in like way shorter time. So I guess she's just a prodigy and he isn't. But being that much of a plumber is so sad. So when Chen starts crashing out and he starts spamming buttons, and now like the arena or whatever is looking at that one game mode from Fall Guys. As their ninja, they're able to dodge it pretty easily, but Cole realizes that they can't both lose. This is when Jay tells him to go take it, because he's lucky to even make it this far in the beginning. Unless I'm wrong, has Jay even fought anyone other than the nature guy? Why is he saying he's lucky to make it? He's had one fight. The person who's actually lucky to make it is Kai, because he lost the hand-to-hand combat both times that he fought. I know it sounds like I'm really hating, but I actually am hating, because that guy is honestly worse than Megami. Anyways, Cole climbs up to get the blade, and then he throws a perfect dot to Jay. Get this nigga in the league. This is when Cole says that he should have left a while ago and then tells Jay to go win it. I hope he's not talking to Jay as an individual because one, that wouldn't make any sense because out of any of the individuals of winning this tournament, it realistically would just be Lloyd. So I'm going to assume that he's just talking about the team in general. Then Sensei Garmadon tries to do his best Sensei Wu impression with a quote. Also, I'm just going to play the quote because, bro.
Let what he did here today be a lesson for us all. Know thine enemy, but more importantly, know thy friend. He fought like a true ninja.
Keep in mind, this nigga, like 10 minutes ago, not 10 minutes ago, like 2 hours ago, told Lloyd to do his job as a sensei and to fix like the ninja relations. So why is he acting like he did anything? He's actually just here for straight aura. Anyways, we cut over to Nia, and right now she's in the middle of nowhere. But then she gets a signal from Zane's beacon, and then she finds out that the ninja are on an island. And that concludes episode 3. Episode 4 begins with Skylar finding the Amber guy who's the master of sound. And pretty much Amber, like, he's pretty much Daredevil, like you can barely see, but using sound vibrations, he's able to find out pretty much what's happening. I'm not gonna lie, this fight was pretty mid. I guess like Skylar weaves like all these shurikens, but then Kai pulls up. After he steps on like 20 people's toes to get there, he's like, did I miss anything? Bro, like, come on, dude. Anyways, the ninja are like, well, maybe we should not draw so much focus to ourselves. But Lloyd says, nah, it's fine because we are a team, even though we just lost Cole and Zane. This is when Kai realized Skylar is fighting, and it says, wait, Skylar's fighting? And then Garman explains that her power is the ability to be able to absorb anything. Pretty much she's Yuta. And this is when Kai says, so we're not related. I honestly cannot believe my ears. Anyways, we go back to the Skylar fight, and she weaves like most of the stuff with a flip, and then she's able to find the blade. Just gonna ignore Kai being corny, talking about some go Skylar. Like, bro, she does not know you. Anyways, Chen was gonna give like all the contestants jewelry for having such a great tournament, but then he blames Jay and Cole for not fighting each other, so now no one's gonna get jewelry, and they're not gonna have their separate cribs anymore. Pretty much turning everyone on the ninja. And then this is when Kai has the audacity to say nice one Jay. Bro, did you want him to fight Cole? I do not understand Kai whatsoever. And that's when this nigga Jay says, chill out Romeo. I'm not gonna lie, that was a W comeback. Anyways, Lloyd locks everyone back in and says it doesn't matter our relationships with the other contestants because they're here just to save their friends. Garmadon adds on to it, saying they should be careful, however, on how they treat others because they will treat them the same. We then find out what Cole was up to, and right now he's about to get sent to the factory. Little did Cole know that the factory that he was going to is for Chen's food, and he was ecstatic to finally be here. But then Klaus tells him that you cannot eat the food, and he was devastated. That's when the guy that Kai found in the first episode tells Cole what he needs to do and to not cause any trouble. That's when the sound guy who was just fighting Skylar is like, I haven't lost hope yet, but when the coast is clear, he's gonna dip. But Karlov, whatever his name is, tells him that there's still a big snake, and also they have no powers. Then cut over to Nia, and she's telling Sensei Wu that she has a lead. That's when she's able to turn her whip into like the same as like the noodle trucks and follows the trucks. We go back over to the ninja, and right now, due to the fact that Chen said that everyone lost their cribs, they all gotta sleep in the same room. This is when Kai, Jay, and Lloyd all get out of their bed and start talking about strategies. That's when all of a sudden they hear a bunch of noise coming from the hallway and they gotta go back in bed. That's when we find out that they have to wear roller skates. Per usual, Kai is ass at using them, but of course, Jay is nice with it because as a kid, he used to use it. This is when we find out from Klaus that for the next fight, everyone can influence the battle. And they're wondering who's fighting. That's when we find out that Lloyd is finally going to be able to run his fade. And he'll be fighting someone who can turn into anyone she wants to become. I know this is a little off topic, but I don't even blame Kai for wanting to be the Green Ninja so badly. Because the amount of aura it gives you in itself is so tough. Because realistically, every nigga who's in Ninjago has heard about you and knows you. Lloyd's lucky I'm not in the verse because I would have snatched that chain so quickly. Anyways, we go back to the factory, and right now, the sound guy who we saw earlier is trying to make an escape. He's low-key moving a little nice right now though. It low-key reminds me of like how you have to do the stealth in the Arkham Batman games. I'm not gonna lie, this nigga is moving. But that's when he is about to escape and then Klaus pulls up in front of him. And then this nigga says, go make an example out of him and send him to the Serpent. We go back over to Ninja, and right now, Lloyd is not too confident. And I don't even blame him, because if your help is Kai, when this nigga can't even do stuff when he's not with roller skates, and now he has roller skates, I don't even blame him for being not confident, because that nigga is trash. Basically, the game they have to play that Chen stole, but acts like he made it completely original. Every time you cross a lap with the blade, you get a point. Off-brand Wally West says, wait, so what are we gonna do? Just stand here? And that's when Chen says that they can help anyone they want. This is when we see all the contestants go to the other side. So now it's pretty much like a 3v like whatever, and Kai is on their team. So pretty much is this a 2vx? So we're gonna need to see a generational performance from Lloyd and Jay. They got to be moving like Prime Shaq and Kobe. The game finally begins, and right now they're moving at the same pace. The other contestants are finally allowed to go, and Skylar tries to use some like crazy gaslighting to Kai, but Kai's like, I don't really pay attention to that, and then she pushes him off. Bro, and then he gets laughed at by these random goons. If I got laughed at by these random goons when I'm the master of fire and trained by the son of the first Ninjutsu master, I'm crashing out crazy. But we all know that Kai is way too sorry to do any of that. That nigga might be the most fake demon that I have seen in this whole entire show. That nigga talks like he's literally prime Mike Tyson, but in reality, he's no better than Killian Hayes. Anyways, back to the race. Right now there are even points, and Jay realizes they have to make a play. That's when Jay uses lightning to get Kai up to Lloyd, but of course Kai just makes Lloyd trip. How can a nigga be so useless? You would not believe what Kai says next. He tells Lloyd to use his power. Keep in mind, while Kai was in his fight, Lloyd told him the exact same thing, but in that context, that made way more sense. What is Lloyd's power gonna do in this situation? Does that nigga use his brain? Anyways, Lloyd starts losing, and then we go back over to Nia, and right now she's trying to sneak in. But while she's trying to sneak in, this guy Dareth pulls up talking about some food item. Like, bro, let's be so serious. Due to Dareth's mishap, Nia is now forced to bring Dareth onto the mission. We go back over to the race, and then we get a crazy lore drop. Klaus tells Garmadon that he used to be fine with his dark arts, and that it worked for Misako. This is when Chen gets bored, and he starts clicking buttons. The button puts like a ramp up, but Lloyd uses the ramp to roll and then continue moving on. And then in the next scene, we see Kai face the same thing, and he falls on his ass. If I go through a TikTok comments again and see that people are still saying in the big 2026 that Kai deserves to be the Green Ninja, I'm just gonna have to block them, because no way you watch a show and that is the conclusion that you're coming to. We then see Jay try to be useful, but when he pushes the person that he thinks is Lloyd, it turns out it's the person that he's playing against. While they're back at the beds, Lloyd says that his back was hurting. This is when, like, the girl that Lloyd is playing against tells the Master of Shadow to hit his back. And when he hits Lloyd's back, Lloyd loses the blade and then starts running away with it. But that's when Jay comes in clutch, hits a little body check, and gets the blade back. Lloyd is down by 1 point right now, and then they see some poison cloud thrown at them. Jay and Lloyd weave it effortlessly, but guess who walked into the poison cloud? No other than Kai. This might just seem like I'm just hating on Kai, but bro, you cannot tell me that they're not trying to make this nigga look absolutely horrible. So far in the season, he's literally done nothing useful, and he's just hurt his teammates. We then see some crazy corruption. Like, this guy brought people who are like literally driving a car on like a skating place, and then they're carrying the girl that Lloyd is playing against. This is bigger corruption than the Chiefs during the playoffs. This is when Lloyd and Jay get hit with a crazy combo. They have one person from each side grab them, and then they bring off-brand Wally West here to do a loop around the arena and then hit Jay into Lloyd. And of course, Kai is nowhere to be seen. We then see Skylar talking to Kai, saying that he's doing a great job. Keep in mind, Kai is trying right now, and he's doing so terrible that Skylar thinks he's throwing. You know how hard it is to do that? We then see Kai talking about well, I might not be able to skate, but at least I could help. And then he uses his power. Keep in mind, he just told Lloyd to use his powers, and during this whole time that Lloyd has been going less and less from being able to win, this guy has been walking around the arena. Anyways, him using his powers was able to make him catch up to the girl and knock her off like the arena or whatever, and allowing Jay to pick up the blade. We then see Jay cook her. He tells her to come grab the blade, he weaves it, and then weaves her again, and then she hits into the other contestants. This is a generational performance. And of course, Lloyd, instead of just going around them, decides to shout out a little bit and jump over them. You gotta give it to him. This is when Skylar tells Kai to lock back in because Lloyd might win. But finally, Kai doesn't fall for his snow bunny control and says the ninjas had to stay together. This is when Skylar's talking about well, we're ninjas too, and then says, I should have known better. I mean, I don't know what she expects from Kai. Like, obviously, you're a ninja too, but you're like not in like the whole like ninja group, so I don't know what you were expecting. Anyways, they decide that they're better off, instead of just trying to fight everyone, just telling them about what Chen's true plan is. And that's when Kai magically lands on Skylar's shoulder and starts telling her about it. This is when everyone else starts listening in, and now they're all on board with helping Lloyd win. And then we see Kai do another useful thing in this episode. This guy decided to steal a whip and now gave it to Lloyd. And somehow when Lloyd took the whip, it turned into like a bunch of like green. Honestly, this nigga is so tough. This is when Chen starts crashing out and starts spamming buttons, but Lloyd is weaving them effortlessly while drifting. I don't know how old this nigga is in the season, but he's able to drive like this. This nigga really a prodigy. There's around a minute left, and now the score is even. This is when Lloyd makes a dumbass decision and it tries to get the girl to like join their side when Chen literally said there could only be one winner. Keep in mind, he just saw how the Jay and Cole fight went when they tried not to fight. So I don't know why I tried this. That's kind of like the problem with Lloyd. Like, he tries to be like way too positive. Like, nigga, be a true demon like your pops. Lloyd lost some distance, but then he used the ramp to gain some crazy speed, and now they're throwing some crazy hands with the sword, reminding me of Bleach. We then see Klaus try to interfere, but when Garmadon stops that also, they then try to change the scoreboard. Before we move on, can we talk about how many times Garmadon has to stop Klaus? Why are they letting Garmadon just chill next to them? Do these niggas really want the ninja to get out, or are they really just doing it for love of the game? Before they're able to interfere with the score, Skylar stops it, and now Lloyd and the girl are in a head-to-head chase. This is when it seems that the girl went across the finishing line first, but then we find out that she didn't have her blade. And somehow, Lloyd won the match with 106 points. This is when Chen tries to say that they cheated, when he obviously was cheating, and he was like, my tournament, my rules. And that's when they tried to do some like rebellion and be like, if you kick him out, you gotta kick me too. Like, y'all niggas are not Ty Leo.
If you gonna shoot me, shoot him. If you gonna rob me, rob him. If you don't like me, you can't like him. This shit is, it's like you feel what I'm saying? Like, this shit is like a bundle.
We go back over to the factory workers, and right now they're just walking, but then Cole notices something. This is when Karlov comes in clutch and says that he's tying his shoe, giving Cole enough time to reunite with Zane. The guard realizes though that they don't have any shoes, and then checks to see what the real holdup in the line was. But when he got there, Cole got back. He then tells the guard that it looks like you've seen a ghost, and I'm not gonna lie, this is also insane foreshadowing from Ninjago. I don't know if it was on purpose, but if this was on purpose, this might be Bleach level foreshadowing. We then see Dareth and Nia going over to the island, and that concludes episode 4. Let me know whatever Ninjago seasons you guys want me to do next, or like any other cartoons. I'll see you next time.